This is Real Estate Radio. The Erik Hatch team is highly motivated, innovative, and knowledgeable for all things real estate. This is Real Estate Radio.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, real estate fans, avid listeners alike, and casual people on your way to church this great Sunday morning. Thanks so much for tuning into Real Estate Radio. I am your host, Erik Hatch of Hatch Realty. If you ever want to find us, you can head to 1205 16th Avenue South in Fargo. That's the corner of University Drive and 16th Avenue South. So if you're over at CJ's Kitchen for breakfast or lunch, or they don't serve dinner, so breakfast or lunch, head on over and buy yourself a house in between meals. It's the best way to do it. Again, 1205 16th Avenue South. And here at the top of the hour, I have noticed that things have gotten significantly colder outside. It has slowed down substantially with how people are driving. Less and less people are going out. But what I'm finding is that there's still more and more people who are shopping for houses and looking to buy. I've seen our inventory deplete almost 10% in the last month and a half. Active listings are selling, and if they're priced right, if they're in the right location and the right condition, they're selling, and they're selling quickly as well. And so I'm seeing an inventory completely deplete right now. We have just over 1,000 houses on market in the entire metro area. And so that's not really a lot of houses. And so if you're sitting in a place right now thinking, would this be the time to move? I would entice you with a couple of things. The first is, of course, handsome interest rates. People can get into your house for less, but that means you can move up into a higher price point for less money. Or even if you're downsizing, you can still keep that mortgage really, really low. Now, the second thing I would love to entice you with is, of course, the idea that you could be the house for a lot of people, because there's a plethora of buyers out there right now that can't find what they're looking for. And if you are the only listing that meets the criteria of an awful lot of people, that completely drives your price up. Many people say they want to wait until spring or summer, and what they're doing is they're waiting for more competition. They're waiting for other people to compete with in the listing category. And your best, most advantageous move is to list your house in these winter months. That's when more people are looking online than ever before, and that's when you'll have a chance to be the one featured property for those buyers. So I'd love the opportunity to interview to sell your house. 701-369-4839, or as always, head to livefargomorehead.com. But first things first, let's find out what's happening with real estate news this week.
The wife of the man charged in connection with real estate agent Beverly Carter's murder also has been arrested, facing the same charges of capital murder and kidnapping as her husband. Crystal Hope Lowry, 41, of Jacksonville, Arkansas, has been arrested in connection with Carter's death. Her husband, Aaron Lewis, was arrested shortly after Carter's body was found at the end of September. On September 25th, Carter, a North Little Rock, Arkansas real estate agent professional, went missing after showing an abandoned foreclosed home to a potential buyer in Scott, Arkansas. Her disappearance captured national headlines as hundreds searched for her. 5 days later, her body was discovered in a shallow grave at a cement company about 20 miles from the home she had been showing. Police have yet to disclose details on Lowry's suspected involvement and if any additional suspects are being sought in the case. And that's what's making real estate news this week. You're listening to Erik Hatch with Real Estate Radio.
Breaking in, shaping up. I am elated to have the handsome, the wonderful, the bearded wonder, Mr. Brent Giddings of B. Giddings Services in studio with us this morning. So good morning, Brent.
Good morning.
I made you a little uncomfortable there, didn't I?
A little bit.
It's a great way to start the day. Brent, I know what B. Giddings Services is. Maybe our avid listeners who get a chance to hear you know what B. Giddings Services is. That's a tough thing to say.
Yeah.
But please clue in the listening audience to exactly who you are and what you do.
Well, I do interior painting, bathtub resurfacing, and then, a little handy projects here or there, but mainly painting and bathtub resurfacing.
We're going to talk about both those because I think they offer a really unique niche for people. I want to start with bathtub resurfacing. Are we talking if I have just a crummy fiberglass tub and it's dirty, do you come in and clean it, or what's the story? How does bathtub resurfacing work?
Well, on bathtubs, you can resurface pretty much any bathtub surface, whether it's fiberglass, pressed steel, cast iron, whatever the case might be. It's just a different process for what surface you're working on. But it can be discolored, it can be an ugly color, it could just be worn. We'll make it look brand new with any color you want.
Now that's an enticing offer, especially for people who have the avocado tubs and the rose-colored and the fuchsia and coral, and there's some ugly colored tubs out there. But then there's also the people who have the great cast iron clawfoot tubs, or people who maybe have a house that's 15 years old and they just put a crummy tub in there in the first place.
Right.
And so you can come in and completely make it new. How do you do that?
Well, it's a process of first you gotta, you do the cleaning. You want to get it down to, a very nice clean surface. Then, depending on what we're working on, we either sand or we etch, and then we prime, and then we'll spray our top coat, which is an acrylic urethane, very much like auto finish. So it's going to have that nice high shine to it when it's done.
Now, if I'm a do-it-yourself kind of person and I see my bathtub, can I go buy these products in the store and do it myself?
There is a kit that you can do it yourself. In most cases, you're probably going to end up calling me in about a month or two afterwards, because
I call you in every situation, Brent, before I get my hands dirty anyways.
It's surface preparation is the key to the job.
Yep.
And it's also the product I'm using, probably a much superior product than what you're going to find on the shelf here at a store. Yeah,
great point there, Brent. If people are thinking, I have this bathtub that needs to be resurfaced or refinished, and I want to bring new life to it, but I'd probably just be easier putting in a new tub. What would be your argument to that?
Well, I mean, you can always put in a new tub, but you're going to tear apart your bathroom in order to do it. Mm-hmm. And then the second point is cost. To do just a standard bathtub, you're looking at $350 to resurface it versus, remodeling your bathroom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And a bathroom remodel is going to cost you significantly more than what anything else is going to cost you, because you tear out a tub and what's the cost of even a new tub at Menards or Home Depot?
Again, that varies too, depending on what you're looking for in the tub. I mean, you can buy a real cheap tub, but then you're going to get a real cheap tub.
And then you got to pay for labor.
Yeah.
And you have to tear out the old one. And oftentimes you have to cut out some walls to get a bathtub.
Oh, yeah, for sure you'll be cutting out some walls.
So for $350, somebody can get their bathtub refinished and resurfaced by you, and it looks brand new.
Brand new with a warranty.
Again, Brent Giddings with B. Giddings Services. We're talking bathtub resurfacing. You can also do sinks and that sort of thing. I know smaller projects where there's avid action gets to be a little more difficult.
Yep.
But I want to transition to your interior painting, because that's my favorite thing to do, to freshen up a house, to give it new life, to completely change the feel of a room. And oftentimes a do-it-yourself project just goes wrong. So Brent, tell us about interior painting. What do you offer? What are the features?
Well, interior painting does change the entire look of a room. I just did a job last week where it wasn't like the room was a dated color or anything, but it once it got repainted, it completely changed the feel, the look, and everything of the room. It's magical almost.
Yeah. I loved hearing you say magical, because you're like, it is, but I'm this big macho man, and it's weird to say magical. Brent, I think that interior painting is the trick to keeping marriages together. I think that interior painting is the way that people will stay longer in their house. I know I'm a realtor, and I want people to sell because it keeps my family fed and it keeps me gainfully employed. But realistically, most people aren't looking to sell this year. But if they want to freshen up their space, not only can they go to the bathroom and freshen up their bathtub with you, but they can do interior painting and small little handy projects all throughout their house. Those are invaluable additions to somebody's home for a few bucks. So Brent, how can people get in contact with you?
Well, they can always call me on my cell phone, which is 701-306-5383, or they can look me up on the internet, which is bgiddingservices.com.
I love it. Brent Giddings with B. Giddings Services, interior painting, bathtub resurfacing, and oh my gosh, an all-around great guy too. Stick around after the break. We're going to have more coming after you. But do me a favor and head to livefargomorehead.com during the break. Check out some houses, learn a little bit about our team, and have a wonderful old time. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.
Stick around. More Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch after this.
Don't survive.
This is Real Estate Radio. The Erik Hatch team is highly motivated, innovative, and knowledgeable for all things real estate. This is Real Estate Radio.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio. As always, I'm your host, Erik Hatch, and I have some wonderful tips for selling your home. This comes right out of Reader's Digest. I do not read Reader's Digest on a regular basis. I used to have a subscription. My mom had a subscription, and I spent hours upon hours reading through there because it's always packed with great advice. And no doubt, these 13 tips for selling your home should be an absolute goldmine for you. So let's talk about these. Number one is audit your agent's online marketing. Now, if you're choosing to sell your house, absolutely you should be working with a realtor, and then make sure that that realtor has an incredible web presence. Getting marketing out there is the difference maker between a good realtor and a great realtor. In fact, 92% of home buyers are actually starting their house hunt online, and so you want to make sure that the people who are going to look for houses can find yours, that it doesn't get lost in the shuffle. Now, I love this one, number two, and this is a partnership. Yes, it's the realtor's job to market the house, but you have to have some skin in the game too at times. Consider posting a video love letter about your home. Here's the thing. As a realtor, I can't say you have great neighbors because that's subjective. I can say objective things like you're close to a school, but I can't say the sellers loved having their kids in this neighborhood because it's surrounded by other children and there's great people on every corner. I can't say that, but you sure can, and we can help you market that together. So that's an exciting addition that you could do, is to consider making a love letter video. Now, number three, and a great tip on how to sell your house according to Reader's Digest, is let your neighbors choose their neighbors. Now, again, we can market your house and make sure that everybody in your neighborhood association, the people on your block, we want to invite them to open houses. Yes, there's nosy neighbors that will come through and snoop, and we just can't prevent that, but neighbors protect their neighborhoods. So think about that opportunity. We could get somebody to sell your house who's maybe living next door. Chances are they probably have somebody who said, I love your neighborhood, I'd love to live here sometime. And what a great opportunity for you to jump on board with that. Now, I love number four, Facebook your home's listing. In fact, that's something that's a complete and total staple to Hatch Realty and how we approach things, is we make sure that Facebook knows about your listing all day, every day. And of course, we'd invite you to do the same. Number five, consider leaving some good stuff behind. There's oftentimes some accent pieces, some furniture or appliances or TVs that really make a room or they make a house. Consider offering that as an enticing piece for people as a special way to get your house sold. Now, again, we're talking great tips from Reader's Digest on how to sell your house. Beat the competition with condition is number six. You always want to be, and this is a fine science with this, but you always want to be top third condition and bottom third price. So people can't resist buying your house. And you're going to beat that competition with condition. We, of course, want to get you every last dime, and the condition being right is a great way to do so. Now, don't forget number seven, stage the exterior of your home also. It's really important to see the exterior of your house looking sharp, looking bright, especially in these now dreary winter months. Keep those sidewalks shoveled. Make sure that your windows aren't heavily frosted over, and keep it bright as possible. We're going to keep going because these are some great tips that we want to talk about. But of course, livefargomorehead.com is the way for you to connect with us, or 369-4839 for even more personalized tips. But number 8 on our list of how to sell your house according to Reader's Digest is that access is essential. We need to make sure that you're able to show your house almost all day, all night, anytime. And yes, that's frustrating. So all the more important to have the right marketing, have the right staging, and to make sure that your house looks great at all times. Now, you need to get real about pricing. That's number 9. Price is almost everything. If we don't have that right price in there, chances are we're going to miss out on some serious buyers. Now, we price too high, people won't come and take a look. We price too low, people certainly won't be happy with me, and those people are you. So consider getting that price exactly right, and it takes a seasoned, well-experienced realtor to do that. We have just a couple more coming at you. Number 10, get clued into your competition. You need to know what's on the market right now, what's sold recently, and that will give you a great trajectory into what your home is worth. Number 11, depersonalize. Make sure you take away anything that screams your family, your style, and your house has to be really neutral. Understand that when somebody walks through the door, they want the opportunity to imagine themselves there. Not you, but themselves. Of course, with depersonalizing comes decluttering. I always call it pre-packing. I simply don't want people to feel like they have clutter, but instead you want to pack because you're going to be moving anyways, and so you need to get those things off the shelves. And the final tip, and this is my favorite one, the final tip according to Reader's Digest on how to sell your home is to listen to your agent. Of course, we're going to be biased, but you're hiring a professional. If you go to the doctor and the doctor says, do this, but you say, no, I want to do that, chances are the doctor's right. And that's probably the same case in most real estate transactions. It doesn't mean that we're not open to conversation and to learn because it's always a partnership. But your agent is the expert in the transaction, whether it be me or somebody else in the community. Now, all these tips and more we'd love to share with you personally at 369-4839 or head to livefargomorehead.com. I'm being told we're almost out of time, so there's a couple final thoughts I always want to leave with you. The first is this. I talked about it last week, but I am going to brag until the cows come home at the goodness of life and the goodness of God as my wife and I have welcomed in our new daughter, Finley Jewel Hatch. She is the most perfect, precious, stunning daughter that anybody's ever had. And yes, I am biased, but my goodness, life has changed, and it's all changed for the better. Sleep is overrated, I'm learning, and my daughter likes to have some blowouts of her diapers when I'm changing her, so I feel like she's a good practical joker already. What a cool gift that is. So those of you who are parents out there and have that blessing in your life, I not only envy you for what you've gotten to go through, but I am now a part of the party too, and that's really exciting. The second is this, is we are coming towards the end of the 2014 real estate year. It is not the wrong time to sell your house right now. In fact, it's the right time to sell your house. You're going to have such little competition out there and an opportunity for you to move up and to save some serious cash. Now, it doesn't mean we have to sell your house, but we'd love to help you know what your home is worth. You can reach out to us at livefargomorehead.com or 369-4839. We'll give you an idea of what your home is worth, and we'll help you figure out if now is the right time. It doesn't hurt to have the conversation to see if we could make something right for you and your family and your loved ones. And finally, if you want to save some serious cash as well, we have our Hatch's Heroes discount. Those of you who are firefighters, police officers, veterans, military personnel, teachers, educators, nurses, we have an opportunity for you to save some serious cash, and you can find out how at livefargomorehead.com. And that's it for today's show. I really appreciate you tuning in to Real Estate Radio on the Mighty 790 KFGO.
Something going on.